Imagine living to 111 years old, still sharp, still curious, still laughing. That was Dexter Kruger, Australia's oldest living man until his passing in July 2021. And here's the thing, his life wasn't just long, it was full. And his story that sparked my fascination with the science and the myths of human longevity. Hi, my name's Alan Virtue, and this is Chasing Dexter. Imagine you're waking up on your 120th birthday. You're still working part-time, studying a new skill online, and planning to attend your great-great-great-grandchild's graduation. In this future, reaching 100 is no longer remarkable. It's just middle age. Scientists have hypothesized that humans have the potential to live to 150 years of age. If this potential is realized, society would need a complete reimagining of life structure, education, careers, retirement, healthcare, and even family itself. Artificial intelligence and robotics would almost certainly be indispensable allies in managing both the opportunities and the burdens of such unprecedented longevity. There's no question that people are living longer. A recent United Nations report calculated the number of centenarians in the world has been doubling approximately every 10 years since 1970. In fact, centenarians are now the fastest growing demographic group in the world. This shift is reshaping our future in profound ways. The aging of the global population isn't just a medical or economic issue, it's a transformation that will touch every part of society. Governments will need to rethink almost every aspect of planning. Longer lifespans mean greater demand on pensions, aged care services, and social welfare. Infrastructure, such as housing and transport, may need redesigning to accommodate an older population. Policies once built around shorter lives will have to adapt to a future where reaching 100 is no longer rare, but common. In Chasing Dexter, we're going to explore the ramifications of, and hopefully solutions to, the consequences of extreme aging in future episodes. But for now, let's concentrate on the present. As individuals, how can we give ourselves the best chance to live, not just longer, but better? On this channel, we'll cut through the hype, separate fact from fiction, and uncover the habits that actually keep people thriving into their 90s, 100s, and yes, even beyond. But let me back up for a second, because my motivation to explore the science of human longevity all started with one extraordinary man. I first came across Dexter Kruger in a 2017 Australian ABC television episode of Can't Ask That. The topic was centenarians. Dexter was the oldest of 8 remarkable men and women appearing on the program, all punching above the 100-year mark. He had a cheeky, dry sense of humour, and his mind was obviously razor sharp. He was charismatic. To me, he stood out as being someone special. Dexter was born on the 13th of January 1910 in Brisbane, Queensland. He was one of 6 children born to Albert Kruger and Matilda Otto, German immigrants. He grew up on the family farm outside Kilcoy, a small town in southeast Queensland, where he went to school. Now, think about that for a moment. Born in 1910. That means he lived through the Spanish flu pandemic, 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and saw a century of change that most of us can hardly imagine. From the invention of television to the internet, and from the horse and buggy to the moon landing. And yes, longevity ran in his family. 2 cousins reached 100, and a aunt lived to 103, his father to 87 and his mother to 81, well above the life expectancy of their time. Dexter was a quick learner. At just 7, his father gave him a heifer calf, and by 16, he was selling cattle for a living. By his 20s, he'd managed to acquire his own farmland. In 1951, with his vast experience as a rural vet and grazier, Dexter revolutionised Australia's cattle industry with a new system that valued animals by live weight, creating a fairer, more standardised way of selling cattle. That alone could have been his legacy. But Dexter's story didn't stop there. After the death of his wife, Gladys, in 1994, he began a brand new chapter in his life. At the age of 86, he started writing, and what began as a late-life hobby soon turned into a passion. Over the next 2 decades, he published more than a dozen books, including collections of stories, reflections, and lastly, his autobiography. He officially retired from farming at 94, but he didn't slow down. Writing kept his mind sharp and gave him purpose well into his hundreds. And Dexter wasn't just about quiet reflection. At 106, he proved he still had an adventurous streak by hopping on the back of a Harley-Davidson, later describing the ride as
"That's one of the most unexpected and most enjoyable things I've had for many years."
So what if the secret to living past 100 isn't just in your genes, but in your daily choices? Dexter hinted at several reasons he considered to be the major factors in achieving his remarkable longevity. He never smoked, rarely drank, and valued having a purpose each day. He also emphasized his simple outdoor lifestyle, fresh farm food, staying mentally active, and of course, along with his daily serving of chicken bones and prawns. And he believed the main reason most of us never reach our potential for a long life is simple. In his words, people eat too much. They eat themselves into the grave. Now, this is a topic that keeps coming up time and time again. Does calorie restriction increase the potential to live longer? So what better subject than this to explore in the next episode? Stay tuned. We'll look into the effects and challenges of such diets and how excessive food consumption can affect our bodies and our minds. I dedicated this channel to Dexter's memory because I believe there's so much to learn from people like him, those who have defied the odds and lived long, active, and fulfilling lives. This channel is my deep dive into the science, habits, and stories of longevity, exploring what it truly takes to stay strong, sharp, and independent for as long as possible. Life is a journey, and no two paths are the same. Though we share the same beginning and end, the course we chart is entirely our own, and we do have a choice. On this journey, I'll be sharing my research into the science of longevity. I'll be breaking down the latest research on aging, nutrition, and disease prevention. Insights from those who have lived 100+ years and what they have in common. Tips on how you can action diet, exercise, mental sharpness, and lifestyle habits. Separating fact from fiction when it comes to living a long life, and inspiration and motivation. Real-life stories of resilience, adaptability, and thriving in later years. Aging is inevitable, but how we age is something we can influence. If you're ready to take control of your health, embrace a lifestyle that supports longevity, and uncover the real keys to a vibrant, active life, then you're in the right place. Follow along, like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if there are any specific topics you'd like covered. I'll do my best to thoroughly research and present them on the channel. Active participation really does help spread the message and encourage others to take control and manage their aging process. So join me on this journey and let's start chasing Dexter together.